What's going on, everyone? All right, so look, today let's talk about that ending of Joker 2 along with what we see with Harvey Dent. Is this all connected to the Dark Knight trilogy? As always, hit that subscribe and let's get into it. All right, so look, check this out. Let's get right to the point. This Harvey Dent that we're seeing in this universe is not the Harvey Dent that we got with Christopher Nolan. How do we know that? Very simple. And the same thing with Joker. This Joker at the end that ends up, you know, taking out the Joker in this universe is not Heath Ledger's version. How do we know that? Let's break it down real quick. All right, so this Harvey Dent, if you see, his face, when it shows it, has a little bit of damage to it. So he's already been hurt and stuff like that. So he's scarred and stuff. So technically, he's already Harvey Dent as Two-Face in this universe. Now, let's go back into what Christopher Nolan gave us in the Dark Knight trilogy. When we see Harvey Dent in his universe, we see how Harvey becomes Two-Face when the gasoline falls and half of his face gets burned, when the building goes off and stuff like that. So that's how he becomes Harvey Dent in that universe. So these two are different versions of Harvey Dent in two different universes, have nothing to do with each other. Clearly, you can see it because on this one, for Joker 2, he has already some, scar tissue, if you want to say, on one side of his face. But then you see over in the Dark Knight Rises trilogy how he becomes it. So therefore, they're not the same Harvey Dent slash Two-Face. All right. Now with the Joker, when we see Joker in this one at the end that he's in jail and he gets shanked by another one, that's just a loony that's a fan of him, and he tells him. So pretty much how Joker would go and say, I have a bad joke. That's exactly the same way and the same thing that they're doing with this one. You just have a crazed fan that's obsessed with what Joker did in the first movie. And then he's like, now you're in here. I used to look up to you. So boom, you get what you freaking deserve. And boom, he shanks him there. All right. And that's the done, it's completely done for him. Now let's focus on that other variant, if you want to say, of Joker. It's not that he's another variant. It's just that he's influenced other lunatics in the city to become like him. Because let's remember, that Joker, that's, if you want to say, becoming another Joker, he gets the blade and he just, cuts his mouth. Now, why and how is that not connected with Heath Ledger? Very simple. In the Dark Knight trilogy, remember when they're at the party and Joker tells Rachel how he got the scars? That he's like, want to know how I got these scars? And then he clearly explains it. He's like, I put a razor in my mouth and I started doing this to me. So he cut himself. That's why he ends up having those scars. Now, in this one, Joker 2, you see clearly that the person cuts himself. So therefore, these two are not the same. So keep that in mind. Remember. And it just shows you how people are just speculating, just trying to connect it. And no, this has nothing to do with what Christopher Nolan gave us with the Dark Knight Rises trilogy. Two different worlds, two different universes, and two different characters, on their own different timelines. As always, drop your comments, hit that subscribe, and until next time.